So Shaun, what do you think of The Hitman's Bodyguard?
I liked it.
I liked it too. Thanks for watching. So what did you really think, Shaun? Give me a bit more depth.
I thought it was a pretty fun action romp. There's a few things I take issue with.
I kind of liked that it knew that it was kind of a bit silly, buddy action comedy, and I like the two leads, you know, Ryan Reynolds and Samuel L. Jackson.
Yep.
They're always pretty good quality watch. But what I appreciated was that in this film they weren't caricatures of themselves to too much of an extent. There's usually not a lot of in-between of the roles that they play.
Yeah, it's like the roles are written for them almost sometimes.
Yeah, but I felt like they didn't overdo it, because there have definitely been Ryan Reynolds movies where you go, fuck, enough with the Ryan Reynolds of Ryan Reynolds, if you know what I mean.
I'm with you, I follow. There is a few motherfuckers from Samuel L. in there, but I think we all want that.
That's right. You don't go to a Sam Jackson movie hoping he doesn't say motherfucker. I don't think I can say that I necessarily enjoyed the female lead or Gary Oldman's character though.
Yeah, they didn't really have much to work with really, did they?
She gets a kick ass in a few scenes. At the start she has a really nice action scene, and then towards the end she has a bit of a nice fight scene, which is cool. Gary Oldman's character as the villain, I felt was, you know, I guess he's more just place setting for the movie to take place around. I like Gary Oldman a lot, but yeah, I just felt like he probably wasn't given a whole heap to do with it.
I like when they put a bit of effort into making you really dislike the villains.
The whole premise of the movie really is about getting Sam Jackson's character to court so they can put this guy away. I feel like, yeah, we really want to hate him as much as possible, and I just thought wasn't maybe quite there.
The trial continues.
One of the world's most brutal dictators.
With a key witness to testify.
If Kincaid is dead, you'll be paid in full.
You know what, Shaun? I've got to give this movie credit for making me laugh pretty loud at a fart joke.
Yeah, it was a good fart joke too.
Unexpected as well.
And from a female as well, so it's one for the ladies.
It's a cheap joke sometimes, just to go for a fart joke, but to actually make it work, that's hard.
I kind of felt like there was a lot of jokes that were hit and miss. There was some crackers in there.
Yeah, there was some solid lols.
But there was a few face palms as well. Not too much. I'm being a bit critical, but you know, it might have been the fact that we were literally the only people in the entire cinema. If there was other people laughing along, maybe I would have laughed, but
that's it.
It was quiet in there at times.
It does feel like when you see a comedy, it does help to have a nice big audience that's, you know, erupting into laughter around you. But then it's just you and me, you know, 200 seat cinema.
It's that 1:30 session on a Thursday afternoon. Gets a bit quiet.
I think most of the moments that didn't hit were based around kind of the more surreal, slapsticky action comedy. Yeah. So for example, where Sam Jackson jumps off the roof and bounces off and down into the garbage can is kind of played for comedy, but is so surreal and over the top.
No, odds in that jump. Just gotta find a more intelligent way.
And then similarly towards the end, where Ryan Reynolds bursts through the windscreen, is also played for comedy, and just didn't feel like it quite landed for me.
Jesus Christ! Really? What happened to the seatbelt rule?
You know, a few back and forth moments that kind of lingered and went on, and I felt like they weren't hitting the comedy as hard as they should have been, or... Yeah, I don't know, maybe I'm just being picky.
Oh, we're definitely being picky.
That's what we're here to do though, right?
Yeah, well, here to be picky and I guess analyse as best as we can. Not that we've got a huge movie with Ryan Reynolds and Sam Jackson playing internationally in theatres at the moment.
Not yet.
And you're the most wanted hitman in the world. My job is to keep you out of harm's way.
I actually didn't know anything about this movie before I went in. I didn't watch one trailer. All I saw was a poster. Yeah. So it was actually fun doing it that way. It's getting to a point where some of these studios are actually putting in stuff that wasn't in the final film, like Rogue One, for example.
Oh, that's the worst offender of the bunch.
It's like, where's that beach landing scene? That never actually happened.
It's funny with Rogue One because, obviously the production had an entire series of reshoots to completely reconstruct the third act of the movie.
Yeah.
But all of the advertising was still playing up these scenes, even in the days before its release. It's not like they pushed to get a new marketing campaign out with removing footage that's not going to be in it. There's like, fuck it. Yeah. It's done now, whatever. It's Star Wars, people will still see it, who gives a shit?
It's out there. I think the 2.5 minute movie trailer, you have to avoid at all costs.
I guess we're jumping around a bit now. We'll get back to Hitman's Bodyguard shortly, but what I like about Chris Nolan is that he always makes sure that the trailer and marketing campaigns are really subtle.
Yeah.
You kind of watch his trailers and you go, what the fuck is that about?
I love that. I love that not knowing, like, oh, I got to see this. Why would you give away everything?
I don't know, Shaun. Why don't we ask the producers of Terminator Genesis why they felt they had to put the fucking reveal of John Connor as the Terminator
Did they really?
in the trailer?
What are you doing?
John!
What have they done to my son?
Survival's what you taught me.
Which, if they hadn't, actually would have been somewhat of a cool twist in the movie.
Fuck, that movie sucked.
Oh, fuck, it was bad. Anyway, Hitman's Bodyguard.
Yeah. Something I wanted to talk about was some of the action set pieces. Sometimes when action movies, they can feel like they drag on a bit, but I think they did a really good job of like mixing it up and not being repetitive in the action. I mean, the fight in the hardware store I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Some of those longer takes.
Presenting it as one long sequence was really awesome. However, we both took slight issue with the end of that scene.
Yes, let's talk about that.
This movie, for the most part, is pretty, logically sound, and there's nothing that sticks out to you going, hang on, but what, how, what?
Yeah.
However, that scene finishes and Ryan Reynolds' character has gone off in one direction in the city on a foot chase, and then Sam Jackson's character's gone off in a different direction in a car chase. But then right at the end, Sam Jackson just pulls up at that store exactly where Ryan Reynolds is, looks through the doorway and says, look, come on, motherfucker. Yeah. Like, where the fuck did you come from?
I think we actually looked at each other and go, cool, carry on.
Just accept it, it's fine, it doesn't matter.
Maybe he's got like Find My Bodyguard in his phone or something where he knows where he is at all times. I don't know.
You won't last 1 hour without me. You gonna be a little bitch about it?
Tell us where your husband is.
You lost my husband? That is your job, motherfucker.
One thing I would like to mention, a guy I know did some of the composing for this movie.
Represent. Who's that?
His name is Dmitry Golovko.
Remember that name.
I believe he did the score in the Amsterdam chase sequence.
I have to say that score during the Amsterdam chase sequence, it was far the best score I've heard in a long time. I actually took a mental note and go, God, this sounds great. Who did this?
Dmitry! I just wanted to give that shout out because he's a good guy, does good work.
I quite enjoyed just the main characters, but I think it's nice they did something quite different and tried to give him a bit more depth. Even
though I felt like the love story between Ryan Reynolds' character and the female lead, who's an actress's name I've forgotten, my apologies to that actress.
I'm sure she'll be upset when she's watching this.
I know, she's going to be devastated. Even though that felt maybe a touch just underdeveloped, just a little bit, I thought overall I appreciated it. And I also appreciated that the writing was pretty good. And there's nothing in this that I would consider lines that feel out of place or lines that feel inappropriate.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah, I thought it was all just really well put together.
If you wouldn't mind, the gun.
So, The Hitman's Bodyguard, directed by Patrick Hughes. Final thoughts and rating, Shaun?
I would say that it was a good film. I enjoyed it. I think it was a little bit too long. I feel like they could have cut it down to a more tight, more condensed package, personally. I give it a 6.5 out of 10.
I was happy with the action, happy with most of the comedy, happy with the plotting, pacing, script writing, most of the performances. Villain, a little bit lackluster, love interest, a touch lackluster.
Yeah.
But overall, thoroughly enjoyable. And I'd recommend it if you're a fan of these actors, a fan of action comedy, then definitely go check it out. I would give it a 7 out of 10.
Whoa!
Just the 0.5 above you.
Yeah.
Not that much more.
Pretty close.
Pretty close.
Yo! You about done? Okay, on 3. 1,
bad.
You're bad.
Thank you very much for joining me, Shaun.
Thanks for having me, Dave.
My pleasure, buddy. And we'll see you again soon. Bye.
Bye.
I like that neither of them were too caricaturistic. I like that neither of them were really too characterized. Oh, fuck.
One more time.
I don't think I'm
Caricature?
Oh, yeah. I like that they weren't overly caricatures. Oh, fuck. I liked.
It's a tough one.
Fuck.